Another week, another Patriots mailbag on our live show every single Wednesday, answering all the questions that Patriots fans have. And this week, they go up against the Cleveland Brownies. Now, the Browns aren't that great of a team, but I still think that their defense is really good. 2-5 record against a 5-2 record after back-to-back wins on the road. Your Patriots are back home at Gillette Stadium. So I'll ask before we get into the mailbag, who you got? Do you got the Patriots? Type your N's. Or if you're a lone Cleveland Browns fan watching to get some insight, which you're not going to get any because you know that the Patriots are going to win after watching this video, type your CLEs down in the comments section. Let's get into the first question. Anthony Sanchez coming in with a $2 super chat. Any injury updates that we should know about? Well, the injury report comes out every Wednesday, and while this is being recorded on Wednesday, there were 2 injuries that did not practice on Wednesday's practice. Fortunately, when everybody's limited and kind of a full participant, you kind of get that feeling like, okay, they're going to play on Sunday. But there were 2 guys that showed up as a DNP. And Elijah Ponder, who hasn't really been getting many plays this season, many snaps, but Craig Woodson has been your starting safety with an ankle injury, which is a bit of concern. Now, we did get Jalen Hawkins back at practice. He was a hamstring, a full participant, so it seems like that hamstring is fully good. You could see Christian Gonzalez as a full participant, Kyrus Tonga, Morgan Moses, Stephon Diggs, Christian Barmore, and Harold Landry as your limited. But all those guys played last week and had the same injury, so I expect them to play on Sunday. Thanks for the question, Anthony. J-Rod36 coming in with a $2 super chat. Any unsigned edge players that we should pick up in free agency? So I saw your question, J-Rod, and appreciate you as always. And I looked at some of the best free agent edge rushers. There are none. You have Shaq Barrett, DeMarcus Walker, Yannick Ngakoue, Jerry Hughes. None of these guys really stick out. I would rather have the guy that, they signed, Caleb Murphy, who we'll get into maybe a little bit later in this mailbag. But you also have Kayvon Chason, who just picked up Defensive Player of the Week. You also have Harold Landry. I don't want anybody that's really a free agent. If I'm going to go out and get somebody, I'm going to go out and trade somebody. So nobody in particular that really intrigues me on the edge position at free agent. Dink iOS coming in with a $5. Should we trade for Jaylen Waddle? I would love this in a heartbeat. You get your deep threat. I know that would probably knock Mac Hollins out of the entire rotation, but Jaylen Waddle is an absolute dog. The only problem is he plays for the Dolphins. Dolphins are a division rival. You're probably going to have to pay that division tax. If you can get him for a 3rd-round pick, I am doing that in a heartbeat. Him and Drake May would be on the same connection. It would be absolutely awesome. I want to see that right now. If you cannot get A.J. Brown in the offseason, give me Jaylen Waddle. I said Jaylen Waddle was better than Devontae Smith coming out of Bama when they both came out to the draft. So give me Jaylen Waddle. Vicious Tuna. A lot of trade questions today. Should the Patriots trade for a cornerback or a safety? I know that they were trying to trade for a cornerback back in earlier this season when Jarvis Brownlee Jr. got traded from the Tennessee Titans to the New York Jets. I want to say that they should trade for a safety, but it really seems like that they should be trying to trade Kyle Duggar, but they keep playing Kyle Duggar. I want to see a safety. I just don't know if there's any safeties that are truly available. Now, cornerbacks, you can go after a Roger McCreary for the Titans. You can go after a Reek Woolen. I would like to see a little bit more depth, and everybody is going to keep mentioning this over and over and over. Stephon Gilmore, should he return? Should he be signed? But it kind of gets to concerning moments when it's kind of almost November in the NFL season, and if you're still a free agent, there's a reason why you're still a free agent. I'm still going with an edge position over anything. Diana Chucksini. What a name! I don't even know. What is that picture? Should we be concerned with Jared Wilson's playing? A little bit. And it's kind of been quiet how the offensive line has been just because how good Drake May has been and how everybody else has been really good in the offensive line. Will Campbell looks like a star caliber left tackle on the other side. You see Morgan Moses playing well. You see Mike Owenu having low-key a great season. You see Garrett Bradbury having a great season. But then there's Jared Wilson. You see 61 out of 71 guards ranked. And his PFF grades are not great. 48 overall grade, a 50 pass blocking grade, 46 run blocking grade. He only has 2 penalties, and you see those 2 sacks. But if you want to know when those 2 sacks came, both of them came against the Tennessee Titans. Both of them came last week. And honestly, after watching some of the film, it was only on PFF listed as 2 sacks. I think he let up 3. They attributed it to Drake May himself, but I think Jared Wilson was the reason for that. And this weekend, you're going up against 2 guys that are absolutely incredible in Mason Graham and Myles Garrett. It is your toughest test yet. And I'm just like, oh, Jared Wilson, I know that you're a rookie. I know it's going to take you some time to develop. But there's also in the back of my head, if he struggles, I'd kind of give Ben Brown a chance. I'd give him an opportunity to see what Ben Brown. We saw Jared Wilson miss the game a couple weeks ago, and Ben Brown did a solid job. So if it's really disaster mode on Sunday against the Browns, which I don't think it's going to be, but maybe give Ben Brown a chance to switch up this rotation just a little bit. Would you guys bench Jared Wilson? Or do you want to see him kind of play through this little kind of dry spell that he's having, is struggling a little bit? Give me a B for bench or give me an S for start down in the comment section. All right. Drake May, Pat's Lover. Drake May Lover is the best account on Instagram. With how good our defensive coordinator intern has been, and he's talking about Zach Kerr, after Coach T comes back, will we have a DC controversy? Bit early to start thinking about it. Well, we know that Terrell Williams has been unfortunately diagnosed with prostate cancer. Mike Vrabel did give an update today at his press conference, and he said he's progressing, he's doing good. Me, if I was going to put a bet on it, I would honestly just say that he's not coming back this season. I think he's going to take the whole year off. I mean, trying to recover from prostate cancer is a big thing. You have to prioritize your health. You have to prioritize going through that recovery. I think he's not thinking about football at all. So do you really want to come back? I think he will come back next year. But honestly, with how Zach Kerr is playing after this season, he might have an opportunity to go interview somewhere else. Or Coach T might retire. That's the questions you're going to get to. But right now, I don't expect Terrell Williams to come back at all this season. Gonzalez Productions. What's your ceiling and floor for New England? This season, the ceiling is, right now it's 13 wins. If you look at the schedule that the Patriots have, it's so easy. You have to play the Browns this weekend. Then you go up against the Falcons, which, they're bipolar as hell. I have no idea if they're a good team. I have no idea if they're a bad team. They can get blown out one game and then win the next game by 30. They don't make any sense. You go up against Tampa Bay, but they absolutely have they're injury-ridden. But they still have Baker Mayfield, don't they? So that's going to be a tough one. Then you go up against the Giants, the Bengals, the Jets twice, the Dolphins. You also have the Ravens and Bills. So if you want to chalk up, let's say, the Ravens, the Bills, and the Tampa Bay Bucks as losses, that leaves you with 5 on the season. Then you have 12. So 10 losses is my floor at this point. If you have 10, that's the floor. The ceiling, absolutely at the top. But this team is really, really good. And playoffs are 100% an option. You have a 92% chance to make the playoffs according to The Athletic. We're going to get into some more of your questions, but first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in. There's a brand new feature. You can follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app, and you can copy their lineups in one click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner like producer Moose, or just someone whose picks you like, hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. Of course, I got a lineup for this weekend's game. You know, basketball season starts literally right now. Well, you can make a lineup. Drake May, give me the more. Quinshon Judkins, give me the less on rushing yards. And Stephon Diggs, it's going to happen at some point, right? Give me more on the touchdown. Make a lineup just like that one when you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Big game, guys. Big game for the Patriots. It's also kind of crazy that the trade deadline is less than 2 weeks away. I know a lot of you guys have like other type of trade targets or trade questions, like this next one, the Pat back. What's your top position target for a trade? I've said it on this video. I've said it on the channel multiple times. I would go for a safety. I don't really know what safeties are out there. With how good the wide receivers have been playing, I'm not trading for a wide receiver. There's one specific player position that I'm looking at for a trade, and that's just edge. It's my top target for a trade. And you're probably thinking, well, Brett, they're playing great. Kayvon Chaisson and Harold Landry. Well, Kayvon Chaisson's missed a game. Harold Landry has also almost missed a game. And they both have been dealing with a tiny bit of injuries. That could evolve at any point in the season where they get hurt. And then once you go after, you're screwed. You have Keion White or Anthony Jennings as your next guys on the depth chart. Now, they did claim someone off of waivers on Monday, and that's Caleb Murphy. He was with the Chargers. He got waived by the Chargers a couple days ago over the weekend from Ferris State, and he was absolutely insane at Ferris State. He also has ties to Mike Vrabel. He was playing for the Tennessee Titans back in 2023. And I can just read the stats off for him if you want to bring him up for me. 14 games played, 17 tackles, no tackles for loss, only half a sack. 17 tackles in 23, 24, and 25. That's 3 seasons. So obviously he brings you a little bit of depth. He brings you a little bit, but nothing that's eye-popping, nothing that's going to be like, is he going to be number 2 on the depth chart? No, not in my eyes. I think you have to go out and trade for someone that you can see as someone that would be a possibility. Because if you look at the pass blocking depth or pass rushing depth chart, Keion White, Anthony Jennings, Elijah Ponder, and now Caleb Murphy. That's not a lot. Elijah Ponder, solid. Anthony Jennings, run blocker or run defender. Keion White hasn't done a thing. I really think Keion White should be traded because he just needs to start somewhere else. Now there's available tradable edges. This is according to ESPN. And you have Trey Hendrickson, which I'm just kind of off of it at this point. Jaelan Phillips, which he's a Miami Dolphin. I would take him in a heartbeat. It just depends if you're going to trade in division. Same with Jermaine Johnson. I would do that in a heartbeat. Arden Key from Tennessee. He has been dealing with a little injuries. And is it Arnold Ebiketie? Ebiketie. He's a solid one from Atlanta. I would take him. I would send over a late third-day draft pick for him. But the main guy I'm looking at is Arden Key. And you have him for the same exact reason. You would trade for him the same exact reason as you got Caleb Murphy. He has ties with Mike Vrabel. You can see 6 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 tackle for loss. He's been dealing with an injury. But it just makes sense. It just makes sense for the Patriots to get him. Because I know how much that Frabes loves this kid, and I know how much that he would help the Patriots. I'm not saying that he would start. I'm not saying that he would get in a super rotation spot, but it just gives you some extra depth. And with the Patriots, they need some extra depth. There's no one really you got to go out and trade for him to get 100% better. No, the Patriots are already a great team. That's why they're 5-2. But you let me know of a player that you would trade for. Who would you trade for? It could be anybody. It could be a wide receiver. It could be an edge. It could be a corner, safety, whatever the position is. Go down in the comments section and let me know. Another week, another great segment of questions for you guys. I love doing this every single week, and hopefully the Patriots can get their 5th straight win. Now, don't jinx it. Hit that sub button, and let's go Pats.